Hey there, welcome to my channel, Katie's Empathy, in the series Powerful Feminine Energy Unleashed. In this series, we pull a card from the Divine Feminine Oracle and we read from the book and we learn about that aspect of the Divine Feminine. So if you would like to go straight to the reading today, go ahead and check out the timestamps below. Now, if you would like to stay, I have got some announcements. It has been 3 weeks since I uploaded a video, and I would apologize, but I've really been working on myself, transitioning from jobs, and it's really important to me to bring you guys the best of everything that I have. So I've just been cleaning and clearing my space, letting go of unwanted energy, unwanted things, you know, all the way down to just scrubbing my whole house. And also, you know, I've been doing a lot of research and study on things. I bought a couple of books, one on astrology and one on palm reading, because I really am trying to expand my knowledge, especially in astrology. And I want to get more fluent in reading charts and things like that, so I can bring that to you, because I don't want to just go and get information that other people have found and just give you that. I want to be able to really look at the charts and intuitively know and understand what's going on and bring that information to you along with my messages from Spirit. So I'm definitely working on studying and planning and getting things together, and I really promise you that these gaps will be shorter and shorter as time moves on. It's so hard to do all this and also have a regular job in between times, but I love it. I enjoy both my job that I go to, and I also enjoy doing this. And hopefully one day I can spend a lot more time studying and communing with Spirit and other people who are ready to heal and work on those shadowy parts of themselves they've been kind of maybe putting to the side. So yeah, things are going to change. The way I'm doing readings now is we're going to do Monday through Wednesday, then Wednesday through Friday, then Friday through Sunday. So today's reading is for the 19th through the 21st, which is Monday through Wednesday. And the reason for this is just because energy kind of has its own flow. I like doing 3 readings in a week. I think that's a good amount, to not be too much, but to be kind of enough to be able to digest each portion of the week. And, you know, I think things all flow together sometimes. So, I just think that that's a really solid way to go with it. So I'm just looking at my list here of things that I wanted to tell you guys. Let's see. Fairies. That's coming. But there's going to be a whole lot more research, and there's going to be timing involved, because when I went to do this video and it just did not feel right. And the reason why is because certain times of my life are fairy times, even certain times of the year. And fairies can be, the fae realm in general, can be mysterious and secretive, and I think there's certain knowledge that is meant to be kept hidden, or maybe even told in rhyme. So I'm really thinking about the things that I want to say, and the things that I don't want to say, because I don't want to disrespect ancient kind of knowledge. So I know that might be really weird, but there's just some things that you just got to know for yourself. So my goal is going to be able to tell you enough so that you, if you decided to, you could experience the Fae yourself. Because I think that's how it's supposed to go. Um, so, yeah, fairies. All right, so I think that's everything I wanted to tell you guys. Um, we're going to be doing this more often, don't you worry. So let's go ahead and go into today's reading by the Divine Feminine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling. All right, I invite, ooh, we got one already for today. All right, so today's card is Pope Joan, the Pontiff of Possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. Pope Joan. All right, let's find Pope Joan. She just popped right on out. Pope Joan embodies the truth that all things are possible. According to popular legend, there was a female pope who reigned for 3 years in the 9th century. She was a brilliant, highly educated woman who entered the Catholic Church in Rome by cross-dressing as a man so she could be with her lover. Intelligent and quick-witted, she rose through the ranks of the church hierarchy and was eventually elected as the Pope. 3 years into her reign, she was in a procession from St. Peter's to the Lateran in a lane once known as Via Sacra, the Sacred Way. Her true sex was dramatically revealed in the middle of the Sacred Way when she gave birth surrounded by a shocked and astounded crowd. One legend says that she was killed immediately and buried on the spot where she had given birth. Another says she lived to do penance for her deception. And her son, who became the Bishop of Ostia, had her entombed with honor in his cathedral when she died. Regardless, her name was moved from the list of popes, and all subsequent cardinals had to sit on the Sedes Stercoraria, a throne with which a conspicuous hole in the middle of the seat, to get a confirmation of sex before being named as the next pope. In the 13th century, Jean de Mailly wrote a chronicle that contains the first written mention of an unnamed female pope. This inspired a wildfire of interest that spread throughout Europe. To this day, the legend of Pope Joan is widely believed, especially among Christians. All right, so Pope Joan pretended to be a man, eventually became pope, and had a baby in front of everybody. That's how they found out. When your soul selects her card, we can so easily get caught beneath the glass ceiling of what we think is possible. But the truth is that everything is possible. It's hard for us to imagine just how much the divine wants for our lives, much more than we could ever hope. Pope Joan reminds us that even if we think that what we want isn't possible, it is. Or, even better, there is something our soul wants for us that will give us more than we can think to ask for. Pope Joan is a sign to trust in what you believe about yourself. Trust what's within you. Don't rely on what you see around you. Have faith. Know that the circumstances you are currently in are transformed from within. Begin to believe in a vision of your life. Cultivate the capacity to see it, to really imagine it with all your senses, and you will live into the day when it exists as the reality that now surrounds you. Pope Joan's right hand is held in the papal blessing, a Christian mudra of benediction. The two fingers that point downward represent Christ's duality Christ's dual nature as both fully human and fully divine. The human ego is limited and lives beneath a glass ceiling. Joan demonstrates to us through that for the soul. Though that for the soul, glass ceiling doesn't even exist. Trust in what the soul knows is possible for you. This is what Joan's wry smile reminds us. So basically, Pope Jones did what was right for her soul, and even though it seemed impossible for a woman to be a pope, she became a pope anyways. And many people believed her to be in direct communication with God. And the biggest thing that I'm taking from Pope Joan right now is that we often will put a set of limitations on ourselves, as in what we can and cannot accomplish or get. And I just saw 11:11 as I was saying that. But we can burst through those limitations. We're making a glass ceiling for ourselves, that, and it's our own limitations. So we have to kind of let those limitations go and trust that whatever we want, whatever our soul desires, we can have and will happen for us if we just believe. Yeah, so just like breaking that glass ceiling, getting through those limitations, which is great for me right now personally, because I feel like I've had this big glass ceiling over me for the past couple weeks, just with time limitations, this and that. But the truth of reality is each moment is a choice, right? And we can do things that move us in the direction we need to go, or we can put limitations on ourselves, right? So her soul voice meditation is, what helps me remember that all things are still possible for me. What helps me remember that all things are still possible for me is how far I've come to begin with. Gosh, 5 years ago, I could have never imagined I'd be right here where I'm at today. And then when I think back to 10 years ago, and then to 15 years ago, so much growth has happened. So if that growth has happened in the past, surely more will happen. Like I'm sitting here making this shitty YouTube video right now, but hopefully at least one or two people get something out of this. If not, then I'm getting something out of it, and every time I do it, it's going to be a little bit better, and it doesn't matter what I think is possible or not possible. Whatever needs to happen will happen. You just got to keep going. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. The soul is limitless. So think about that in terms of the universe. The universe is also limitless. And I think that we are a reflection of the universe. We are like tiny pieces of the vast universe. We're tiny, not pieces, but recreations. And I think we if you just keep going smaller and smaller, if you get into like cells and microbiology, you'll notice that in macrobiology and macrophysics that everything looks the same. Whether you go micro or macro, it does not matter. So at the end of the day, we're all as big as the universe, and we're all as small as the universe. And inside of those bounds, we can create anything. And there really aren't any boundaries. Anyways, that's just weird, random ramblings. And I hope that you got something out of this reading. It was probably one of the most interesting readings I've had so far. Pope Joan, the Pontiff of Possibilities. What is possible for you? All right, well, thank you for coming to my reading. I hope that it was everything you needed in perfect timing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a beautiful, wonderful day.